All right, I came out to the second of the Mokena's Futures Slate candidate meet and greets. It's a nice event. Got to hear some questions from the candidates. They're planning on having one more of these, so we'll be here and show you that hopefully. But again, a good opportunity for people to get to talk to the candidates, hear from them, and share what is important to them as a voter. So it was a good night. All right, Mr. Mayor, this week you kind of rolled out your campaign with, or in the last week or two with the signs and everything. What kind of feedback are you getting from the community and voters?
Well, it's still early, Israel, but the people that we're stopping and talking to and the phone calls we're getting and different people want to change. And like I said, I'm telling them, they try to say how long I'm around. Well, my opponent's been around since 2003, 2005. So they're the ones that really don't tell people how long I've been around. You've been around longer than me.
We got another mailer today from your campaign. How else are you getting the word out to people about your campaign?
We'll be having our mailers coming out, and we have our handouts, and all of us are talking to individual people. You know, the people that we know, people that like what we have to say. And this is turning out great. I mean, we've had 60 people last time, roughly 60 people this time, and they want to know, people want to know what's going on. That's why what you do is so important, because it gives them information that they're not going to get.
And will people have more opportunities to meet you and the candidates before the election?
In 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that. So every 2 weeks up until Election Day, you know, we're going to have our meet and greets here. So I think the next one is on a Tuesday. I think that might be March 2nd or something.
My name is Nick Clancy, originally from Plainfield, Illinois. I live here in Mokena now. The building you're standing in is Clancy Brothers Coffee Roasters. We opened up here in 2022, November. And that actually brings me to just a quick story I'd like to tell you guys, because that flows right into kind of why I'm running here for village trustee. 3 years ago, my brother and I sat down and he said, let's start a business. I said, okay, how about coffee? He said, yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty viable business. Where should we find a home for our business? And I was like, well, let's just check out the Chicagoland suburbs. My sister has lived in Mokena for 14 years. She says, how about Mokena? I was like, Mokena? Mokena? Like you really think we should look at Mokena? She said, what do you have to lose? Just check out the downtown and just rule it out if you don't think it's viable. But if you do, then see what happens. So Chris and I come down here, we go down Front Street, we go down all these different streets. We just survey the entire downtown. And we realized that, I realized that there's something going on in Mokena. So I look at Chris and want to see if he's feeling what I'm feeling. And I said, what do you think now about Mokena? He goes, absolutely not. He's like, this downtown is just, it's kind of sad, man. There's really nothing. There's a food desert. There's no restaurants. There isn't much going down here. Like, sorry, but Mokena's off the list. All the while, I still have this feeling in my stomach. There's something here. So a week goes by, we start going to these different towns looking for a home for Clancy Brothers Coffee. And my sister calls me back. She goes, hey, what'd you think of that corner bank on Wolf and LaPorte? I said, what bank? She goes, you surveyed downtown and you didn't check out that like 2 or 3 true building on the corner of Wolf and LaPorte? I said, no, I didn't. So we came back, we saw this empty bank building on the corner, contacted a realtor, we were able to come inside. And the wheels just started spinning, not only for me, but for my brother. And so my brother started to get that feeling that I had about Mokena. There's something happening here in this town, and we want to be a part of that. And so the faith began to build, and eventually we put all of our chips in, and we said, let's bet on Mokena, and let's go for it. And it's the best decision we've made. And so that passion has begun to not only be fueled, but grow. Just the conversations that I've been able to have, especially with Mayor Frank Fleischer and the vision that he has and he's shared with me, gets me really excited about what's going to happen in the downtown. I know that's an area or a topic that has been talked about for many years, and it seems like not much has been accomplished, but it's my vow to work, if elected, to do whatever I can to revitalize the downtown by way of making Front Street sort of a marquee avenue for businesses to thrive, utilizing land like Yonkers Park, Yonkers Farm to create amphitheaters and grassy areas to host concerts, bringing back things like the carnival and farmers market, pathways for pedestrians and bikers who want to come down, park the bike and walk around and enjoy your downtown. And I'm ready just to work together with whoever wants to join arms and get it done. So I'm excited about it. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Food festival or whatever it may be. I love alliterations here. But even something I know a few months back, the village trustees talked about fishing, the fishing ponds, and how some fishing ponds are restricted in different areas. My son, I have 2 children. My son is an avid fisherman. He's always at ponds fishing with his friends during the spring, summer, and fall before it gets too cold. But something as simple as, I know Israel and I were talking about it last night, having, a Mayor Frank fishing derby, things that will bring families together, have picnics, and just join the community together is really essential to me. And I want to truly work with everybody on the board to have a vision moving forward and collaborate with all those stakeholders and be transparent to all of you, saying, tell us what you want, tell us what your needs are, and we want to work towards that. With the realization that, okay, again, things aren't going to happen overnight, but just give us time to achieve our goals and achieve Mokena to be its very best.
You people pay a lot of taxes. A lot of taxes. Just want you to remember, only 4 cents out of those taxes go out of that dollar portion goes to Mokena. Just 4 cents. But you pay taxes, then you should get something in return for us. Just like Caesar said, give the people bread and circuses. And we've got to give back. That's why the downtown is so important. That's why Kim talked about the ponds, and Nick is talking about the 4 activities. This is your town. This is your town, and we have to make it nice for you folks. When you're the mayor, you just blame for everything good and everything that goes with the position. And I've done it for a long time, I'm not worried about it. But I'm not gonna stand here and take the blame for what's not happening downtown. When I became the mayor in 2013, as soon as I got in there, I talked about the downtown. Couldn't get anything from my opponent and from his group. I have all kinds of RFQs here from different consultants on what they would do with our downtown. And both of those towns were great. Another one of these did neighborhood. What I did is I brought them in and I asked them to give us paperwork, give us an idea, they're called RFPs, and let us know what they would do for our downtown. I got minutes here. Every time I brought it up, oh, not tonight. Oh, not tonight. Let's put it off until next March. The information was in front of them, they couldn't make the decision. That's why I'm running with three people now. It's time to do something for Mokena and, make it people friendly. This is one of the things they still wanted to do. And when I asked them to run, they wanted to make Mokena more family friendly. And, and Pip was talking about, so was Nick, a couple of things about the past. But that's our slogan. Honoring the past while building for the future. We don't want to forget Mokena's past. But anything, I've got papers here. I've got, I put priorities out for the trustees back in 2018. And it shows, what the elected officials want. My concerns back then were a comprehensive plan, a traffic study, which is needed, all of us deal with it every day, and the downtown. My opponent didn't touch any of it. His big thing was staffing and retention. That's our staff's job. That's not our job. So we're here, we can think outside the box. Our job as elected officials is to have a vision for the village of Mokena. And I think the group that I'm with does. And I promise you, within a month after, if all of us get in there within a month, we'll start working on downtown plans. We'll start working on a traffic study. We'll push the comprehensive plan forward so we don't make mistakes like we've made in the past. And some of you here know what those mistakes were. And they hurt the residents in some cases, and I apologize for that. But we can't let it happen again. And that's what a comprehensive plan will do. It will lay out the rest of the village, let you know what you're putting where, so when you put something in, it's not going to have impact on your residents. That's why a traffic study for downtown is so important before you start putting your downtown in. Because you can, Frankfurt has some nice events, but if you listen to the people that live downtown, they're not happy. Because every time they put on an event, they can't get out of their house for it. And they don't like that. Now, we've got plans here that we can put in place to put our downtown together, but not have an impact on residents. And if I learned anything sitting up there, that's my job. The first thing I look at is what the impact is going to be on you folks. Please, Bob.
So, we've lived here every 59 years. I can't think of a better town hall than the Razor Cliffs and the downtown is, it was vibrant at one time, there were restaurants down there and everything else, and then we just can't make it, and that's the problem. So, I'm just wondering what your vision is, like, as far as that, we have that massive train parking lot on the south side. Are you guys thinking about maybe developing that, and how would that happen yet? Or do you think a study done for that? And then move the train station, or how, what are your guys' thoughts?
That's a great,
Look how Brett had
Because I don't know where else to develop on Front Street. I mean, the buildings are there. It's just a matter of getting the right businesses in there, I guess. And they're nice buildings, too.
They are. Yeah.
Even Little Al's, it's still
kicking. No, that's a phenomenal question, and just to echo what Mayor Frank was saying about there is a progression you have to take. You can't just go run into there and start developing.
Right.
You got to have a comprehensive plan. You got to have a traffic study, and then you can start developing. But that's a great question, and we're going to try to answer that as best we can. Is why is it that businesses come in and then they go out of business? It's a great question, and I think there's a lot of factors involved in why that's the case. But from what I've gathered, just being in business here, we're not smack dab downtown. We're kind of off the main street a little bit. We are starting to get other people from the surrounding towns, not just Mokena residents that come in. So that has to kind of inform how we develop the downtown. That we have to make it in such a way that isn't just convenient for Mokena residents, but is also going to be attracting people in the surrounding town, Lincoln area. So my vision is kind of Front Street being our main sort of strip that connects Wolf Road and Schoolhouse Road. And so developing that north side of the street and then looking at possibly parking along the train tracks. There has been some conversations about possibly Metra maybe moving or relocating that station. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it has come up in conversation. And then, parking. Parking is absolutely necessary. People will come down here, and if there's no place to park and move around, they're just going to get back in their car or stay in their car and go somewhere else. So that's something that we've tried to expand here just in our own lot, and knowing how necessary it is for people on a busy Saturday that will actually pull in and then go right back out onto LaPorte Street because there's no place to park. So to answer your question, there's a lot of factors involved, but parking, comprehensive plan, traffic study, and then just like you said, getting the right businesses and to attract not only Mokena residents, but the surrounding towns too.
The downtown is only as big as your imagination. So we can do, right now, we can do what we want to do. We're planning on working with the park district and moving our parking and opening up the downtown a little more and moving the parking over to the east. We're looking at the possibility of bringing Willow into McGovey Street and connecting it to Wolf Road. Now that's going to open up that whole area. It's going to give better access for people to come into our downtown, and as we have events, it'll take pressure off the other towns and off the other streets, like 2nd Street, 3rd Street, the other parts of town that really don't want cars going up and down their road, their street, during the day to go to these events. So that's what I'm talking about. You need to do the study so you know what you can do. We should be able to do something like that. And like Nick said, all of the trails in town should begin and end out. That's my dream.
Good question. Sorry,
Yeah.
thank you for your patience.
So I was just wondering, you said you had a plan for the downtown and a vision,
Yeah.
but then you're also talking about the comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
How is that working? Like, which comes first? How is that?
Yeah.
Is there a layout right now that you guys have, that you guys are envisioning before the comprehensive plan is done? What?
That will probably come out with the comp plan. And the people that are doing the comp plan, this is what's going to work out. The people that are doing the comprehensive plan, I would hope they're the people that do the downtown too. So the layout of downtown, and also by doing that, we're trying to do, both things at the same time. Comp plan for the downtown.
Okay.
And I also want to thank you for investigating the downtown.
Yes, no
Just
problem.
like Nick investigated.
Because I want the downtown too.
It's still rolling dice. So thank you.
So I do have a couple more questions. So with the comprehensive plan, you did say that you were having issues with the previous 12 years of pushing things forward, right? Because of the other trustees were either voting it down or whatever. So if that happens again, do you have a plan in place to make sure it doesn't happen for the
I'll
next
run
4
more
years?
people in 2 years.
What's that?
I'll run more people 2 years from now.
Okay.
If the four of us get in, you'll see a change in Mokena. You will definitely see a change in Mokena. I guarantee that. Everybody forgets. The people who are running it have been in power in Mokena since 2003. They started out as Citizens United, changed their name to Friends of Mokena, and they've had the numbers on the board since 2003. I just became mayor in 2013. They had the power for 20 years. They're the ones that have done nothing, not me. That's what people have to remember this election. The Friends of Mokena have not done a darn thing for the village of Mokena.
So, Big Jim, do you have a question?
Yeah, Frank, but I'm very excited about what's happening in Front Street right now. And I know there's been a lot of problems with the board, but a lot of it was good, constructive discussion back and forth. But look at Dr. Patterson's new subject. I mean, that took a lot of work to get that approved, get the engineering done, keep everybody happy, because I know the whole were concerned about. I mean, that took a lot of work and a
But
cooperation.
what did, what did what?
Dr. Patterson's new town hall.
Town hall
Oh,
development?
On the first part. I mean, it was a piece of property that no one wanted. It took a lot of engineering, a lot of work on the village. It's really gonna be a wonderful asset to the country. And I'm so excited about Trafton coming to Mokena. I hope everyone is gonna support, Docks on Front Street. I think it is. And let's not forget, our community theater is fantastic. I mean, I'll trade 2 restaurants. I won't even trade 2 restaurants in Frankfurt for the community theater. I think the community theater has been excellent. I think you've done it. There's a lot of great things going on Front Street, but people have to.
I mean, Jimmy, but that development that you're talking about, town halls, okay, is not gonna happen in town. Okay, it's a nice development. I was involved in it. And it was nice getting that thing built out. But that's not gonna happen. It's just not. It's a residential area. Mr. Docks, I talked with Mr. Trafton about 4 or 5 years ago about coming to Mokena. This stuff just doesn't happen. That's my job as mayor. I'm a cheerleader for the village. My job, my responsibility is to bring development into our community. That's why I belong to different organizations. That's why Mokena is an example. Because you have to stay involved. What's going on around it, what's going on around the community.
We're actually gonna have another meeting, 2 weeks from now, same time, same place. If you wanna come back, if you have a question that you get a chance to ask tonight, come back and ask it then. But, again, just thank you for being here. As the mayor's saying, this is your town, so, we're here to listen, we're here to serve, we're here to take constructive criticism, but we're here to collaborate. We can have all the greatest visions in the world, but unless we unite and actually get stuff done together, we're just gonna keep running into resistance. So we gotta be creative and finding ways to collaborate and get stuff done together. So I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, hope you guys will vote Mokena's future in April.